The following is a presentation of KBEK Sports, local sports.
Past the 25, to the 20, to the 15, he's going to high step into the end zone, touchdown!
Here, wide receivers split each side.
He's still going into the end zone.
East Central Minnesota, KBEK action starts now. To bring you the call, here's Ethan Game Day Gilman.
And good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Braham High School for today's Section 4A semifinal matchup here in softball between the Braham Bombers and the West Lutheran Warriors. Again, Game Day Gilman out here in Braham getting ready for this semifinal game between these two teams. First pitch set for about 2 o'clock as we are out here once again for another softball game in Section 4A playoffs. Of course, yesterday, Braham won 2 games, beat Atwater Cosmos Grove City 9-3, and then went on to beat Packed Charter 10-0 in that game in order to advance to this game here today. West Lutheran has been on a tear as well. They're the number 2 seed in the section playoffs this year, and they waited and played GFW at home, and they won that one 17-6. And then after that, they played against Lester Prairie and won that game 8-2. So that is how they got to this point this season. West Lutheran is 13-6 on the year, 11-0 in section play. So they played a lot of section games this year. And if you're keeping track, they played only eight non-section games. So quite a bit of section play there for the Warriors of West Lutheran. Their offense, a pretty good offense as well, 9 runs per game. They're second in the section, just behind, of course, Braham and Packed Charter. Their defense, though, is pretty darn good as well. They are second only behind Braham. They give up about 4 runs per game, while Braham only gives up 1.5 runs per game. And these two teams, now last year, they played in the section championship down at the University of Northwestern. I was able to be there for that one, and you know, West Lutheran got out to a very big lead early on, and it just kind of looked like, man, Braham couldn't break through. But all of a sudden, late in that one, they finally were able to break through, and it was like, okay, here we go. Are they finally gonna be able to get this comeback and complete it and make the run that they need to? And they kept making the run. They kept getting closer and closer. They kept making quick outs and quick innings of the West Lutheran Warriors, but unfortunately, they just could not pull off the comeback as they lost to West Lutheran 8-4. Now, Packed was an interesting game, too, because they lost to Packed in the quarterfinals last year, 7-1, so they had to go back in the elimination bracket. They would go on to beat Packed in that final elimination game, 4-3, in order to get to the section championship game. They're hoping that doesn't have to happen here today. They're hoping that they can just win and punch their ticket to the section championship, but we'll have to wait and see if they can do that. Of course, this team, very good. They did graduate a couple last year, but they have mostly everybody back from last year's team. And, of course, you've got Alex Rysdam, who over 500 career strikeouts not too long ago. I believe it was against the Ogilvie Lions. She was able to get that mark. So a big season here for the Braham Bombers. Again, a very good record this season at 20-2, especially after yesterday's 2 wins. So they were 18-2 to finish the regular season. Now sit at 20-2. A little bit of a slow start in the game against Atwater Cosmos Grove City, but they got off to a quick one against Packed Charter. Their defense obviously outstanding, as it has been all year long, and they just continued that in the last 2 games that they played yesterday. But it did give up that 3-run home run early in the first game, but turned things around, and they were able to get an inning where they scored a bunch of runs, took the lead. Back-to-back innings where they scored, I think, 4 runs, and that was pretty much it. They were able to go on and win 9-3 over Atwater Cosmos Grove City. Then they played Packed Charter again. They lost to them last year in the quarterfinals. It wasn't going to happen this time because they left no doubt about it. They won in 6 innings, 10-0. So they welcome in West Lutheran today. This is a huge advantage for the Bombers because they get to host this game. So it's a home game for the Bombers, although it is a playoff game, and you can't ask for much more. For West Lutheran, their 6 losses on the year came to Holy Family Catholic, who is a 5AA school. They also lost to Southwest Christian, who is another 5AA school, but they're one of the top teams over there in 5AA. Another 5AA school they lost to was Spectrum, another one of those top teams. They lost their final 3 games of the year to 2 5AA schools in Providence Academy and Spectrum again. Then they lost to St. Agnes, a 4AA school, who is one of the top teams in that section as well. So, I mean, a lot of 2A schools they played this year. Also a good chunk of 4A schools as well, but they have a lot of experience across all different classes, as do the Braham Bombers. Of course, only one of their losses to Aiken. Aiken was their one loss early in the season, and unfortunately could not avenge that one as they didn't get to play them again, if I remember correctly. And yeah, they lost that game early, 8-3. That was actually their first loss of the season. Then they didn't lose again until they played Rush City, who they beat earlier in the year, 9-3. But Rush City came here and beat them 2-0 after. That was a close one, but then the day later, it came down to what would be 3 games between the two teams. Rush City would play 2 at home against Ogilvie and Mora. Braham would play 1 in Hinckley. Braham needed a Rush to lose at least 1 to get a piece of that conference crown, but unfortunately for Braham, it was Rush City winning both of those games to take the conference crown, and Rush City were great conference champions. But they moved on real quickly, and now Braham is here, ready to face off against the Warriors of West Lutheran for a chance to go to the section championship, which, if I remember correctly, which I'm pretty sure I do this time, will be played at the University of Northwestern, that turf field down there, next Thursday. So, if Braham wins, they will play next Thursday at Northwestern University in the championship game at noon. If not, they'll have to go play in the elimination bracket next Tuesday at 5. So we get ready to lead off here, and leading off for the Warriors is number 11, their pitcher, Eleanor Rolfe. First pitch is in there for strike 1 from, of course, the starting pitcher, Alex Rysdam. And then her sister, Morgan Rysdam, behind the plate catching. The 0-1 in there, no, going to be called ball 1. Eleanor Rolfe at the plate. 1-1 on the way from Rysdam. That one swung on and shallow right. The second baseman's on it. Oh, and could not grab it on the dive. A diving play, but unable to be caught there. And now to the plate is number 8, Kaylee Opitz. I remember some of these names from last year. Thank you. Opitz, the batter now. And with that pass ball, oh, they're going to say it hit her. I guess it hit her. So Kaylee Opitz was hit by the pitch. She'll move down to first. And now at the plate is number 20, Marissa Tussler. Tussler at the plate with runners at first and second. This one is batted into foul territory, and it's going to get down. Umpire said 2-1, but she's only thrown 2 pitches to her. That got a little bit of confusion behind the plate. He was saying it was 2-1 with the last pitch, and that would have made it 3-1, but she only threw 2 pitches up to that point to Tussler, so I'm little bit of confusion. Oh. Wow, they're going to say it's 3-1. Wow. Well, now it will be 3-2, but interesting. That's an unfortunate mistake there by the ump. That was step on third, the ground out to third, then the throw to first is in time for the double play. So the ground out to third, the third baseman steps on the bag for the first out, then the throw to first from Lauren Lennes is there for out number 2. And now to the plate is number 3, Claire Bostic. Runner at second, 2 down. Oh, and then they try to throw down to third to get the runner. And on the throwing error, she is able to get home. So with 2 down, they try to throw that runner out at third and missing on the throw. So an error will score the run, and that's unfortunate there for Braham. Definitely shaking a little bit, but now Claire Bostic got to play with an 0-1 count. Rysdam with the pitch. That one is swung on and fouled back out of play. So 0-2 now for Claire Bostic as Rysdam with the pitch. That one into foul territory and out of play. So 1 run is scored for West Lutheran here in the top of the first. It's an unfortunate error for Braham, but now just looking for the final out. That one popped up in play. Jenna Beck is there, and she grabs it for the third out. So Jenna Beck with the grab. 1 hit, 1 run for the Warriors. 1 error for the Bombers. So we get set for the bottom of the first inning. And it will be the 1, 2, 3 batters due up, of course. Morgan Rysdam, Lauren Lennes, and Corey Olson. Will be due up here for the Bombers. 1-0, the lead for the Warriors on that Embrace Orthodontic scoreboard here in the bottom of the first, but at a unfortunate happening there. We're not going to jump on the ref too much for it, but he did call that it was a 2-1 count when it was only 1-1. She had only thrown 2 balls to that player, but again, we move on. So Morgan Rysdam will lead it off for the Braham Bombers. First pitch to her, inside for ball 1 on the pitch from Eleanor Rolfe. Next pitch is on the way. That one is struck and struck well. That's going to get out past the left fielder. Morgan Rysdam circling the bases now to second, and that's where she'll stop with the leadoff double. Leadoff double there for Morgan Rysdam. And now to the plate is Lauren Lennes. Had a big day yesterday. She'll swing at the first pitch, and the throw is there at first. Oh, my goodness. That one just was grabbed by the first baseman. It was close to getting over her head for an error and probably would have scored Rysdam. But either way, now Morgan Rysdam is at third here in the bottom of the first. And, well, you can't ask for much better for Braham. Here's Corey Olson. Looks at that one, strike 1. Bottom of the first, runner at third now for the Bombers, 1 out. They trail 1-0. Olson trying to put the tying run across the plate. Pitch here from Rolfe. is swung on, popped up. This will have a chance, though, to score. And the play is not going to be there. And the sac fly is good enough to score a run. So sac fly, RBI. It's out number 2, but the Bombers get that one run back, and we're tied up at 1 apiece. Now Jenna Beck at the plate looking to do some damage. 2 down, though. And she watches that one for ball 1. Eleanor Rolfe, your name sounds familiar from last year and the game in the championship. Here's the 1-0 to Beck. That's in the dirt. And it's ball 2 for Beck. The Warriors wearing their all-black uniforms, the green letters outlined in white, the white numbers, the white socks, and the white belt as well. 2-0 to Beck. Swings and misses on that one out in front of it to make it 2-1. Bombers in their blue jerseys, the gold letters and numbers outlined in black, the gold trim on the neck, the 2 gold stripes on the cuff with that middle black, the black pants, blue socks, and the blue belt. Swing and a miss here for Beck to even up the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down here in the top of the first, but the Bombers have tied it up 1 apiece. Rolfe with the pitch. Inside, that's ball 3. Good eye there from Beck, waiting on that one, being patient in this at-bat, making Rolfe throw more pitches than she would have liked, and now Beck with the 3-2, trying to get on with 2 outs. And that one softly hit towards short. The throw to first is not in time. It's an infield single for Jenna Beck. So Jenna Beck beats it out. And the Bombers have a runner on first with 2 down, and now it's Alex Rysdam to the plate. Here's the pitch from Rolfe. That's low for ball 1. (1-0) for Rysdam. Here's the 1-0 from Rolfe. That's in there for strike 1. Alex Rysdam, all right, that's fair. 1-1 now for Rysdam at the plate. Her sister doubled, eventually came around to score on a sac fly. Here's the 1-1 from Rolfe. Ooh, high in the zone. Swing on that rising fastball to make it 1 ball, 2 strikes. So 2 down. A 1-2 count for Rysdam. Runner at first. Here's the pitch. Got a piece of it to foul it out of play. (1-2) from Rolfe on the way. Inside for ball 2. 2-2 count to Alex Rysdam. Rolfe readies and the 2-2 pitch. That one is popped up towards right. It's shallow right. The fielder's there, and she makes it for the 3rd and final out. But the Tigers, 2 hits, 1 run to tie it back up at 1 apiece here as we go to the top of the 2nd inning. It will be Bombers taking the field once again. You know, the last 2 games, a little slow to get started, but after that, man, they really got going offensively. Defensively, they don't need any introduction. Their defense is tops, in not only in the section, but in the state for softball for a reason, and they look to continue to show that prowess here as West Lutheran will take the field once again, or take the bats once again to the plate, and Bombers trying to punch their ticket to the section championship game over West Lutheran. And leading it off for the Warriors of West Lutheran is going to be number 7, Evelyn Velu. So Evelyn Velu, I believe, would be their designated player. First pitch, she fouls back into the fence for strike 1. Obviously, both teams still kind of settling in here, but already you can see the aggressiveness from both teams on the base paths and at the plate. They're both trying to get started early, as this one is ball 1. 1-1 now for Velu. That's inside for ball 2. 2-1 now for the leadoff batter for West Lutheran. And the 2-1 inside ball 3. So Rysdam now with a 3-1 count for Velu and just trying to fire this one across. Mixing up the pitches though, and this one is popped up. It's going to spin, but Alex Rysdam makes the throw to first in time for out number 1. So 1 down now, and to the plate for the Warriors is number 4, Sophia Beck. Beck plays in left, and that one's going to go foul on the hit from Beck. That one's softly hit, but does just go foul to make it an 0-1 count. Showing bunt, pulls back in time for ball 1. That one, bunt down the line. Underhand to first is in time. Nope. I think they're going to say she had runner interference. They're going to say, I think. So I think there was some, they're saying runner interference, but I think you. So some conversation here between the umps near first saying, yeah. So the runner's going to be called out. They were going to call interference at first, but yeah, that was a good conversation there by the umps. And now the head coach, Ashley Bessie, or BC, for the Warriors, has a question on it and is wondering, hey, why is it out? Why is it not interference? Why is she umpire explaining? So it'll be 2 down now for the Warriors, and Braham looking to make it a 1-2-3 inning on these Warriors. As next up to the plate would be Grace Rolfe for West Lutheran. First pitch to her is swung on out towards right. It's going to get down, and that's a base hit. Throw to first is not in time, much as the fans would like to think that it was. And now Amelia Rober to the plate now. Runner at first, 2 down. A lefty here for Rober. Swing, that one to the shortstop. Oh, and it's going to get underneath her glove. And I think that would just be counted as a single. I don't think it'd be an error. I could be wrong, but I'm not going to count it as an error. So now runners at first and second, 2 down, and coming to the plate is going to be number 2, Juliet Rober. This one swung on and missed on the pitch high in the zone for strike 1. Here's the 0-1. In there for strike 2 on the inner lower part of the corner. So now 0-2, and Alex Rysdam trying to finish off the inning. Here's the pitch from Rysdam. Popped up, and that's going to go out of play. Love the hustle from Beck, even though it was clearly out of play. She makes the run on over to try and cover it. I love that mentality of, hey, I can get anything that I see. Gotta love that aggressiveness. Here's the pitch. Swung on right to the shortstop. This time, the clean grab and the throw to first in time for out number 3. 2 hits, no runs, though, for the Bombers. No errors, at least in my book, for Braham. And now we move to the bottom of the second, where the Bombers will try and continue to add on to their offensive start. Again, last 2 games, they didn't get any runs in the first. In fact, the last few times I've been here, haven't been able to get any runs in the first. So trying to change that narrative here in this game in the section semifinal against West Lutheran, and adding more runs here at the start of an inning, or the bottom of an inning rather, would be huge for Braham to take a lead, because getting a lead at home is so important, but especially when it's a section semifinal, that makes it of the utmost momentum swing if you're able to do that. So let's see if the Bombers can't add on here in this inning. Again, the pitcher for the Warriors, Eleanor Rolfe, waiting for her catcher, Juliet Rober. Before we get started, it will be Izzy Schockman to lead off for the Bombers here in the bottom of the second. Braham has been, I think, favored in nearly every single game they've played, and they have been so strong all year long. Again, only 2 losses during the regular season to Aiken and Rush City. And that one loss to Aiken early in the season, they didn't have anything really close after that. They were dominant as all get out, other than, I'd say, maybe the game to Rush. I mean, you can't really say they weren't dominant, because, I mean, both pitchers were just so good in that game. It was a defensive performance, but Rush City did come out on top. It's been fun. There we go. The Bombers to the plates. Izzy Schockman readying in that right-handed batter's box, and Eleanor Rolfe will send out the first pitch. Only a junior. This one swung on. Popped up to the third baseman, and she grabs it for out number 1. So a quick 1 down. And now to the plate is Ayla Anderson. She also had a decent day yesterday. Ayla Anderson in the second game was 2 for 3. Single and a double. That one high in the zone for ball 1 to Ayla Anderson. Eleanor Rolfe gets the ball back, and here's the 1-0 pitch. That's in there for strike 1. A little bit inside, but still manages to get a piece of that strike zone. The 1-0. Or 1-1 rather. Swing and a miss by Anderson. Makes it now a 1-2 count. A 1-2 for Anderson, and Bombers trying to avoid going 1-2-3. Here's the pitch. And swinging and missing on that one. And that's strikeout, and that is out number 2. So now to the plate, Liv Keys, as she tries to get the inning to continue with 2 down. A little bit of 2-out magic from the Bombers we're looking for, as they had a lot of that yesterday in their first game. And 2-out magic that they ran with, and were able to overtake the lead of Atwater Cosmos Grove City and eventually get the win. Softly hit to short. The shortstop makes the throw in time for out number 3. Well, the Bombers go 1-2-3, less than ideal. No hits, no runs, and no errors for the Warriors. And now we move to the top of the 3rd inning. But this is kind of where the Bombers have been really good throughout the season, is getting things going here towards the middle of the innings, and see if the Bombers don't start to settle in and start to pull things their way as we get into this 3rd inning. Meanwhile, for the Warriors, we're back to the top of the order for them, so it's going to be their 1, 2, 3 batters in Eleanor Rolfe, Kaylee Opitz, and Marissa Tussler. That will be the batters due up. Rysdam with the pitch. Ooh. That one just high for ball 1. I don't know, that looked good. That looked like it was right underneath the letters. Well, either way, it's 1-0, and that one swung on right to the third baseman. Beautiful play. Throw on to first by Lenez is there for out number 1. So Lenez with out number 1. And now Kaylee Opitz to the plate. She was, I guess, hit by a pitch and eventually came around to score as part of a throwing error. That's in there for strike 1. Just dang near stepping onto the batter's box before that pitch was finished. 0-1 on the way from Rysdam. That's high for ball 1. Well, for Rysdam, took a little bit to settle into game 1, but once she did, ooh-wee, there was no stopping her, and seems like that might be the case here. This one is in there, though, for strike 2. Now 1-2 for Kaylee Opitz. 1 out here in the top of the third. Here's the pitch, and that one fouled out of play. So the count will stay 1-2 for Opitz. I think if I remember correctly, the one thing from last year as I was looking at these rosters is both teams were returning almost everybody from last year's championship game. I could be wrong, but I'm recognizing a ton of these names for West Lutheran. 2-2 now from Rysdam. Took a little sum off that one, and that one goes foul out of play. Here's the 2-2 from Rysdam once again. Out in the dirt, and that'll run the count full now. 3 balls, 2 strikes. 1 down here in the top of the third as Rysdam and company look for out number 2. Here's the pitch. Oh, and just high for ball 4. I think even the batter thought she was out. She looked a little confused. Marissa Tussler now at the plate. Runner at first, 1 down. Here's this pitch, swung on and hit foul out of play. So a 0-1 count now for Tussler, but got some big hitters here for West Lutheran in the 1, 2, 3, even the 4 spot. That one in the dirt. Good block, though, by Morgan Rysdam. Keep that one in front and keep the runner at first. 1-1 for Rysdam. Swung on and hit out towards center. Keys is there for the play for out number 2. And now with that ball getting off the tip of the glove of the infielder, but it's stopped by Alex Rysdam. 2 down now, runner at first. And at the plate is Claire Bostic. That one swung on and fouled back out of play. So 0-1 now. That one low for ball 1. Again, they keep that runner at first, doing a good job of keeping her close. And the 1-1 from Rysdam. That's in there for strike 2. Going to make the throw down to second. Ooh, good thing that they were there to back each other up. Throw a little bit off the mark, but great job, Ava Kunke. She was there to back up her teammate. So now runner at second, 2 down. And it's Claire Bostic with a 1-2 count. Here's Alex Rysdam. That one swung right back up the middle. Grabbed by the second baseman. Not going to be in time on the throw. They're going to get a run home. Oh, they're not paying it. Oh, they did get her out. I didn't think that throw was going to be in time, but it was. They got her out at first, and they get out of the inning. So not quite a 1-2-3, but close enough for the Bombers, as now we'll move to the bottom of the third. And the Bombers do up for them. It's 9-1-2. So Addie White, then Morgan Rysdam and Lauren Lenez do up for them. Rysdam hit a double in the first and eventually came around to score. I mean, she was so fast on the bases, you really couldn't blink because she would have been at the next one. Then she was hit home on a sac fly from Corey Olson. For Jennebeck singled. As the Warriors get their warm-up pitches in, and well, here we go. Bottom of the third set to get going. Addie White will lead it off for the Bombers in the left-handed batter's box. Eleanor Rolfe with the pitch. Got a piece of it, and it's fouled for strike one. So 0-1 for Addie White. That one hit, a bunt, right in front of home plate, and the throw down. Oh, it hit her. So the throwdown won't matter because it hit her in the box. So she'll get a chance to do it again. 0-2 count for Addie White. And the 0-2 on the way. Outside, and an easy one to lay off of there for White for ball one. Eleanor Rolfe readying. And here's the pitch. And that one on the outside part of the plate for strike three, and that'll get her looking as out number one. So one down for the Bombers, and at the plate now is Morgan Rysdam. Again, led off with a double in the first, and Rolfe, you know, she's trying to pitch around her a little bit, but Morgan Rysdam always goes up to the plate. Aggressive, trying to make a play with one swing. Meanwhile, this one in the dirt, bouncing, hitting the ump in the chest plate. He's all right, though. That's why they wear those. 1-0 on the way to Rysdam. That's high for ball two. Yeah, you can tell Rolfe not wanting to give her anything over the plate, as she knows that Rysdam, not only does she have power, she's got speed. An ultimate combo there for a batter. 2-0. Wanted to offer at it, but instead it's low for ball three. 3-0 for Morgan Rysdam. I'll be surprised if she's given the green light here with 3-0 tie game. That one's in there for strike one, inside part of the plate. All right, so hitters count now, 3-1, one down. Obviously, Morgan Rysdam will be selective in what she swings at, but you know if she swings at one, it's probably a good one. Here's the pitch. Ooh, and just missing underneath that one. She was looking to put that one over the fence. Full count for Morgan Rysdam. One down here in the bottom of the third. Here's the pitch from Rolfe. And she gives that one a ride. That one's back. It is gone! Morgan Rysdam circle the bases. It's a home run for Morgan Rysdam. Oh my heavens. She absolutely demolished that ball. Might need to check the laces because they are probably torn off. Holy cow. What a hit from Rysdam. She had something personal to say to that ball. I mean, like she had a vendetta against it. Holy crap. Morgan Rysdam single-handedly gives the Bombers the lead back 2-1. And now Lauren Lenez is at the plate looking to continue the inning. All of a sudden, that's the swing of momentum this team needed. 2-0 now for Lenez, and now all of a sudden Rolfe starting to get in her own head a little bit. This has completely changed the look of this game here in the third. 2-0 from Rolf. Got a piece of it. That's popped up to the third and grabbed for out number 2. Good hit, just didn't get all the contact on it that she would have liked to have, and that'll be 2 down. So Corey Olson now to the plate. She had a sac fly in the first inning to score Rysdam from third. And here's a pitch from Rolf. Got a piece of that one into foul territory, into left field, and it's down. Foul. Left fielder got a good read on it, but not the jump, and it will fall for strike 1. Again, Corey Olson at the plate. 2 down here. 0-1 count for Olson. Here's the pitch from Rolf. Got a piece of that one into foul territory. First baseman's there. Grabs it for the third out. But the one hit is a home run from Morgan Rysdam. And they make it a 2-1 lead now for their team. So now the Bombers with the 2-1 lead. And again, last time they went out with a 1-run lead was yesterday against Atwater Cosmos Grove City. And they did nothing but only get stronger from that point on. But it is said that sometimes protecting a 1-run lead is harder than trying to get a lead. So we'll see if that's that. I don't think it'll be the case. Braham, I mean, they are so good defensively. Leading off for the West Lutheran Warriors is Evelyn Valu, or Valu. One of those. I think it's Valu, though. Here's the first pitch to her. Swung on and fouled back out of play. Got a full packed, well, it's not really stadium, but you know what I mean. It is packed here. They are lining the fence. This one softly hit to third. Lenez with the throw to first. In plenty of time for out number 1. So there's out 1. 1 down now for the Warriors. And to the plate now is Sophia Beck. We've got shown bunt, but it's in there for strike 1 anyways. Kids are lining the fences out of class. You've got fans lining the fences. It is packed here at Braham. 0-1 on the way to Beck, showing Beck, and that is strike 2. Showed bunt, pulled back on it, but it was in there anyways. 0-2, and Alex Rysdam getting into that rhythm now. That's, going to be called ball 1. That looked good for strike 3, but just out of the zone for ball 1. And here's the 1-2, showing bunt again. Right down the line, Alex Rysdam, throw to first, in time. Route number 2. And now Grace Rolf to the plate. Rolf, the last time she was at the plate, it was a 2-out single that allowed her to get to second with another single from the batter behind her in Rober. So we'll see if the Bombers can't make it a quick 1, 2, 3. Rysdam with the pitch. Swung on right to Alex Rysdam, and the throw on to first in time for out number 3. 1, 2, 3. Go the Warriors, and no errors for the Bombers. And now the Bombers have yet another chance to extend their lead as they lead 2-1 on that Embrace Orthodontic scoreboard here into the bottom of the 4th inning. We've got more softball action coming up next week. Rush City will play in their section semifinal against a familiar opponent. They'll play against Aiken. That'll be an interesting game. I think they split the series in the regular season 1-1 between those two teams, so that game will be very interesting. That'll be up at Braun Park in Cloquet on Tuesday for that section semifinal. And again, the winner goes to play in the championship game. The loser has to go to the elimination bracket and fight their way back through there. Greenway, by the way, the number 1 team in Section 7AA, lost to Aiken, which is a little bit of a surprise. Greenway all year long was the easy number 1 in that section, but well, Aiken said no. And I tell you what, Rush City beat the number 2 team in the section, Esco, 10-0 in 5 innings. So between Aiken and Rush City, those are easily the 2 best teams left in that section. And let me tell you what, that game Tuesday is going to be crazy. Here we go. Leading off for the Bombers here in the bottom of the 4th is Jenna Beck. You can just tell the energy has shifted in Braham's favor, and let's see if they can continue to add on to their lead. This one inside, ball 1. At least I thought. Strike on the scoreboard, but I thought he said ball. Here's the next pitch. That's low. I think it should be 2-0. Well, 1-1 on the scoreboard. It will stick with that. Usually it's right and I'm wrong. So here's the pitch from Rolf. Got a piece of it, and that will go foul. One ball, 2 strikes for Jenna Beck. Here's the 1-2 for Beck. Oh, in there. Well, that was on the outside part of the plate, and she was like, wait a minute, what? She looks to coach, and coach just says, hey, you got to move on. So unfortunately, she will go down looking as out number 1. Now to the plate, Alex Rysdam. Flew out back in the first. That's going to be well high, easy take for ball 1. (1-0) now for Alex Rysdam. Outside, ball 2. Rolf readying for the 2-0 pitch. That's low for ball 3. 3-0 now to Alex Rysdam. 1 down here in the bottom of the 4th. And again, I would assume a red light here. Here's 3-0. And that's ball 4. A 4-pitch walk for Alex Rysdam. And she's on first with Izzy Schockman now in the batter's box. Izzy Schockman in their game against Pack Charter was 0 for 4 reach on an error back in that 5th inning. Showing bunt, but that one's going to go foul. (0-1) for Schockman. And here's the pitch from Rolf. That is strike 2 for Schockman, and now she will have to try and swing. She won't be able to bunt here, but she'll try and put a swing on this one and not only try and get on, but push Alex Rysdam closer. That one popped up, and Alex Rysdam, oh, it did hit fair. And you know what, to be fair, I think that was a good play by the right fielder. I think she probably could have got the out, but she let it fall and got the runner at second. So I think it would be technically a single there for Schockman. And Ayla Anderson at the plate. That one easy take, high for ball 1. That one in there, just high for ball 2. 2-0 for Ayla Anderson, 2 down, runner at first. That one high for ball 3. Another 3-0 count here, and this time to Ayla Anderson. Bombers with 2 down, trying to add on to that 1-run lead. Rolf with the 3-0 pitch. That's a good take from Ayla Anderson for ball 4. Runners at first and second, 2 down for Liv Keys. Keys at the plate. Grounded out back in the second. That's low for ball 1. 1-0 now to Keys. That's low and inside for ball 2. Ooh. I think it was actually called a strike. Well, instead of 2-0, it's 1-1 now for Keys. That's going to be strike 2, and Keys a little bit frustrated up there. That catcher keeps trying to throw down to Shockman. I don't know. Shockman's not the one to try and fool. She kind of wants wants you to throw. Here's the 1-2 for Keys. Got a piece of it, and we'll foul it out of play. And that will push the runners back to first and second with 2 down. One-two on the way from Rolf. Got a piece of it just to stay alive as that goes foul. So another 1-2 chance for Liv Keys here. 2 down, runners at first and second. Base hit. Probably scores Shockman. She's been itching to get by second. That's in there, and that'll get Keys looking. That's a good-looking pitch from Rolf. Well, 1 hit, no runs there for the Bombers. And no errors by the Warriors. And that will now take us to the bottom, or rather top, of the 5th inning. Moving right along in this game. Over halfway now in this one, and top of the 5th headed your way. And we'll get we have a second. We'll get a word from our fine sponsors.
Aurelius Manufacturing has been providing innovative solutions to customers since 1926. Specializing in the production of custom welded hydraulic cylinders for over 40 years, our focus is on providing value to customers through innovative problem solving, quality workmanship, and customer service. Our team works with your team to develop designs that provide the most value for your application. We leverage technology and craftsmanship, turning designs into finished products quickly and accurately. Aurelius Manufacturing is a proud sponsor of the Braham Bombers.
Back here on Nice 95.5 KBK and Anthem Country WCMP. Leading off for the Warriors is Amelia Rober. She gets a piece of that one. It'll go to Kunke at second. Throw on to first. Is in time for out number 1. So a quick 1 pitch, 1 out. Bombers will take that all day long. Now Juliet Rober to the plate, and it's 8-9-1 due up for the Warriors as pitch here to Rober. Swing and a miss. That's something we haven't yet to see from Rysdam today, is a strikeout. There's the 0-1. Took something off that one. Got her swinging out in front. 0-2 now. And Alex Rysdam looking to change the no strikeout piece of the game. Rysdam, that one. Swung on, popped up. Morgan has a chance, and she caught it! Morgan Rysdam couldn't find it for about 3 seconds. Then at the last possible chance, got it. Wow. That is not easy, but it was easier than she made it look. But wow, what a grab by Morgan Rysdam. What a play. Eleanor Rolfe to the plate now for the Warriors. 2 down. That's in there, strike 1. And Rysdam is feeling it. Took something off that one, but Rolfe was ready to Shockman at short, throwing to first in time for out number 3. 1, 2, 3. Go the Warriors. No errors for the Bombers. They make quick work of that top of the 5th. Now can their offense get something going and add some insurance runs here? We'll have to wait and see, as it is 9-1-2 due up for the Bombers here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Defense doing a good job of holding on to this 1-run lead, but for the Bombers, definitely want to add on some insurance runs because the Warriors, they got some good batters due up next inning, so they definitely look to add some runs. I think the thing too will be just to get some base runners on to add more runs that way too. We'll see if Addie White can't get on, and then maybe Rysdam can't hit another one over the fence. As she's 2 for 2 today with a double in the first and then a home run back in the 3rd. And Morgan Rysdam, man, she was, she destroyed that ball. That ball said something about her mama. That was a crushed ball. As Rolf gets in her final warm-up pitch, we're ready to go. Addie White will lead off for the Braham Bombers here in the bottom of the fifth. It'll be Addie White, Morgan Rysdam, and Lauren Lenez due up. Winner of this game moves on to the section championship. Loser will play in the elimination bracket on Tuesday. They'll have to fight. They'll play one game in the elimination bracket against any one of, 6 teams? Something like that. Here's the first pitch to Addie White in the bottom of the fifth. Ooh, wanted that one. Looks to her teammate Morgan, says, ooh, shouldn't have done that. It's all right, though. 0-1 now for White. Here's the pitch from Rolf. That's in there for strike 2. 0-2 now for White. And Rolf trying to get out number 1. She got a piece of it and fouls it out of play. Oh, 2 count once again for Addie White. Eleanor Rolf of the Warriors with the pitch. And again, got a piece of it to foul it out of play. So another 0-2 count for Addie White. Rolf readies. Here's the 0-2. And just did get a piece of it. And again, keep herself alive. And a good battle going here for Rolf and White. Rolf readying with another 0-2 pitch. And again, another foul for White. She just continues to stay alive there at the plate. 0-2 is how the battle will continue. And Rolf with another pitch. And a good high from White as that one rides high for ball 1. Rolf tried to get her to swing at something upstairs, but White not going to offer at it. And it is now an 1-2 count. Here's the pitch from Rolf. Again, fouling it off does White. Battling at the plate, but more importantly, continues to keep herself alive. Getting close to 10 pitches now in this at-bat, the leadoff at-bat for the bottom of the fifth. And that's important because the more pitches you make Rolf throw, the less confident. And here's the 1-2. And that one will also be fouled out of play. Get a couple of the foul balls thrown back in. And we'll get a ball back to Rolf. There were about 3 balls out of play that we had to go get. So get those back in, and Addie White with another 1-2 count, and Rolf will ready. And here's the pitch. And this one down the third base line. Oh, she picks it up, and she is safe. Oh, a mistake there by the third baseman allows Addie White to reach, and Addie White wins the battle at the plate. The leadoff batter is on. That ball was going foul. The third baseman got it and kept it in play, which Addie White was halfway to first by the time she got to it. So a mistake there by the third baseman, and now you put Morgan Rysdam at the plate, and, well, we know what she's done already. That's going to be ball 1. (1-0) for Morgan Rysdam. The pitch on the way. That's low for ball 2. (2-0) now for Morgan Rysdam. Rolf to the plate, or with the pitch. That one swung on and crushed towards center, but it stays up in the air. Oh, and it drops. And that's going to roll under the fence. So it'll be It was under the fence. I think it went under the fence. It definitely bounced because it hit off the fielder's glove. Oh. Oh, no, the Tigers just got a gift. You don't ever want to see it that way. Tigers got a gift there. As much as, yes, I like to see them get the run, that went off the fielder's glove and under. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it was a home run. I think it was under the fence. It went off of the fielder's glove. That can't, with that angle, it can't go over. They're going to go talk to the fielder, and that's, I think, the right move. They called it a home run, but I don't think it was. Yeah, I don't think this was a home run to begin with. Well, I guess it was. I don't think it was, but well, they're going to count it as one. Yeah. Yeah, that's what it should be. So it is only a double, as I kind of thought. Yeah, that one hit the glove of the fielder and went under the fence, and that is not a home run. That is a ground rule double. Braham fans won't be happy about it. You know, Braham fans won't be happy about it, but that's the right call. And now, obviously, head coach Swanson wants a word with the ump just to kind of see what kind of all happened. We get a time call here by West Lutheran. There's a bunch going on, ladies and gentlemen. My goodness. The umps talked about it, couldn't figure it out, so they had to go to the fans in the outfield who probably had a better view at it and decided it's not a home run. It wasn't a home run. Not to take it away from Morgan Rysdam. It was a good hit, but it went off the glove of the fielder, and it went underneath the fence. So nobody out. Runners at second and third for Lauren Lennes. So Lennes at the plate with a chance to add those 2 runs that would have been added if it was a home run. And after this pause, we get... And that one's in there for strike 1. 0-1 there to Lennes now. And here's a pitch from Rolfe. Showing bunts, that will go foul. So she'll come back and do it again. Now an 0-2 count for Lauren Lennes. Runners at second and third, nobody out. And the positive thing about this is that even if she does get out on a ground out, there's no way for it to get 2. 0-2 on the way from Rolfe. Oh, no, and she's going to be mad at herself for that one. Swung at something well high in the zone, and she knew she shouldn't have for out 1. Yeah, that's one where you're kind of already swinging in your head before the pitch comes. So 1 down now, and at the plate is Corey Olson. Sack fly in the first. See if she can't put something in play. That's in there for strike 1. Oh, 0-1 now for Olson. Here's the pitch from Rolfe. That's strike 2. And now Olsen's got to protect here. I mean, Bombers got runners in scoring position. You cannot get out of this inning with not scoring at least one of those runs. You have to get one of these runs home if you're Braham. Olsen will be protecting 0-2. She does in that one. Oh, they got her at third. Well, fielder's choice will allow Olsen to reach. And Addie White will be out at third, or out number 2. So runners at first and second, a little bit of a mistake there by Addie White. Getting a little bit too far ahead of herself before the throw, unfortunately. And now all of a sudden 2 down here. Runners at first and second, but here's Jenna Beck. Swinging a miss on that one. And Jenna Beck now with an 0-1, and pitch on the way. And Rolfe took something off that one. That was high and outside ball, or strike 2 as Beck misses on the swing. 0-2 now, and man, the Bombers in danger of squandering this opportunity to score an extra run. Here's the 0-2. Swing and miss. Oof. 2 hits and nothing of it. Nothing coming out of it for the Bombers, and that is unfortunate. Well, we move forward, and we're going to the top of the 6th now, with the Bombers still leading 2-1, but would have loved to have seen them add on an insurance run there. So while we have a moment, we'll take a quick commercial break. Be back afterward from our fine sponsors in WCMP and KBK.
You gotta stop somewhere, so make a stop into the Holiday Station store in Pine City and start saving. Right now, get Red Bull 8.4 ounces, 3 for $6.50. Pringles are 2 for $5 and save $2 on 7th Avenue Pizza when you buy 2. Plus, introducing Lucky Days, Tuesdays and Thursdays. Mention to the cashier, it's your lucky day, and get free items and discounts on drinks and fuel. Whoa! Keep an eye on social media to learn more. Better get into the Freeway Holiday Station store in Pine City.
Leading it off for the Warriors is going to be Kaylee Opitz, so still a tough part of the lineup here for the Bombers to try and get through. And that one's in there for strike 1. A late strike call, but it is a strike nonetheless. That was a good pitch, and it was definitely a strike. 0-1 on the way. That was low. That was definitely a ball. 1-1 now. Big chunk of clay out there. 1-1 now for Opitz. It's going to be called, a late strike call for strike 2. 1-2 for the leadoff batter, Kaylee Opitz. That one swung on and hit towards right. That's deep and just past Corey Olsen. Not only is it a base hit, it's 2, it's 3 for the leadoff batter, Opitz. And all of a sudden, there goes all that momentum that Braham once had. And it wouldn't have mattered much. It would have been a little bit better had they been able to score that run there last inning. Ooh, that hurts. Like I said, this is still a tough part of the lineup here with Opitz, Tussler, and Bostic, and their big hitters, Tussler now at the plate. And that one going to go foul. And at this point, I don't think they'll even worry about if she does bunt, trying to get that run out at first. I think they're just worried about that run coming home because that would tie the game. And that'll be foul as well. 0-2 for Tussler. So a strikeout goes a long ways here for the Bombers. Alex Rysam with the 0-2 pitch to Tussler. That one popped up out of play. Still 0-2 for Tussler. That one swung on, popped up, and caught. And the throw home, going to hold that runner at third. Nice job there by Ava Kunke there at second to grab that. And it's a good job because she could have easily been thinking too much about the throw home and dropped it, but she did a good job securing the catch first and then making the throw. Might seem simple, but it's not that easy when you're out there. Claire Bostic now showing bunt. And they're going to take her out at third. A rundown, and they take her out at third. What a great play there by the Bombers. Got her in a little bit of a rundown, faked the throw to first, and then got her in a rundown. Claire Bostic reaches on the fielder's choice and gets to second, but that doesn't really affect the Bombers. They get that out, and that is huge. Huge, as President Trump would say, huge. So now 2 outs, and they get that runner at third as that one comes right to the fence on the foul. Evelyn Valo at the plate. Or Valo. 0-1 from Rysdam. Took something off to the shortstop. Shockman to first. In time. Wow. You can't say enough. You cannot say enough about what the Bombers just did there defensively to get out of that inning. A leadoff triple is almost always a run scored in the inning. But that's why I say almost, because, man, they played so well defensively to get that out. They got the first out. Great job by Ava Kunke at second to get the catch and then throw home. Then on the second hit, they got her in a rundown between third and home, and they applied the tag as she went well out of the baseline. And, man, then they get that third out on the ground out. That is so big for the Bombers. So now, leading off the bottom of the sixth will be Alex Rysdam. It'll be Rysdam, Shockman, Anderson set to bat. Or, I guess Shockman. It should be Alex Rysdam. No, it's not. I'm missing something because it should be Rysdam. Because Beck struck out. Either way. Shockman to lead it off in the first pitch. Swung on, and that's a base hit. Base hit for Izzy Shockman, and what a way to start out the bottom of the sixth. Leadoff single for the Bombers. Ayla Anderson at the plate. Yep. Yeah, Alex Rysdam was supposed to be up. And that'll be an out. So Alex Rysdam was due up, and because she didn't come to bat, Izzy Shockman batted, and because of that they went out of order, it is an out. So that's why I was quiet, just trying to get all that info. Yeah, it's I was wondering why Izzy Shockman was up first. It was Alex Rysdam due up. Can't have a mistake like that. Mental lapse there for the Bombers. 1-0 for Shockman now. Gets a piece. That one fouls it back, and now it's a 1-1 count. This is tough for Shockman, and I believe yesterday she had something similar happen to where she was due, or she got a walk. I think maybe it was the first game, but it was called ball 4, then they called her back because it was only ball 3, and then she struck out, so it was so tough. And now a 1-1, and she gets a piece of this one, fouls it back, and a 1-2 count now. That is, I mean, if you're the Bombers, you get out of the inning and then have a mistake like that. 1-2 for Shockman. And that's high for ball 2. Good eye there from Shockman. He was looking to protect 1-2, but good eye there. Lays off. Now it evens up the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. 2-2. And that one, that's going to be another base hit for her. So 2 base hits for Izzy Shockman in the inning. And she'll be on first anyways. So now Ayla Anderson to the plate. That is strange. I don't think I've seen that before, where a player did not go up for their bat and they got all confused. And that one is high for ball 1 to Anderson. 1-0 for Ayla Anderson. Runner at first, 1 down. Swing and a miss for Anderson. And she was looking at her coach like, ooh, if I made contact, coach, I'm sending it. 1-1 now for Anderson. That runner at first here in the bottom of the 6th. Oh, out in front of that one, and good pitch there by Rolfe. She got her well out in front of that one. Took something off that pitch. 1-2 for Anderson. Got a piece of it just to stay alive, and the count will stay 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1 down, and runner at first. Now you might be asking yourself, how did they get that one out? Well, Alex Rysdam was supposed to be the leadoff batter, but Shockman batted first, and because of that, she was out, and Izzy Shockman had to bat all over again, which she wound up getting 2 hits out of it, so. Here's the 1-2 to Anderson again. Swing and a miss. For out number 2. The Keys at the plate to try and keep the inning alive. Keys so far 0 for 2 today. Runner at first. And here's the pitch from Rolfe. In there for strike 1. And they'll throw down to first, but Shockman is back in plenty of time. And that's what Shockman wants, though. Shockman is the one who will kind of sit there in between, and she does not fall for the fake throws. She wants you to throw it down. Here's the 0-1. That's high. 1 ball, 1 strike. For Keys. 1-1 from Rolfe. Swung underneath that one. For strike 2. A 1-2 count now for the Keys. 2 down, runner at first, trying to protect here with a 1-2 count. Rolfe with the pitch. And she gets a piece of that one, and it will go foul and out of play. And she'll go back and do it again with a 1-2 count. Just trying to get on base. And swings and misses for out number 3. Well, they get that 1 hit, but no runs. And, man, that misalignment there in the order really hurts. And now we move to the top of the 7th inning. And the Bombers will get back defensively and try and get 3 outs here. That's all they need. They're leading 2-1. And this, if they hold on, would punch their ticket to the section championship. 6, 7, 8 due up for the Warriors. That's Sophia Beck, Grace Rolfe, and Amelia Rober. In fact, we'll get a new batter here, a pinch hitter for Sophia Beck. It'll be number 13, Brenna Vick. So Brenna Vick will pinch hit for the Warriors as they, again, try and tie this game up. Alex Rysdam has had a decent outing, but the last, well, let's count on 1, 2, I mean, the last 2-3 innings have been decent, but last inning they had a lead off with that triple, but Braham got out of it, and now a check swing, but that's strike 1 to Brenna Vick. 1-1 on the way from Rysdam. Swing and a miss as Rysdam took something off that one. Now ahead 1-2. She looks to her fielders. Everybody's ready. Everybody's set to go. And she swings and misses for out number 1. 2 more to get for Braham. Grace Rolfe going to be the next batter. Here's the pitch from Rysdam. In there, strike 1. That's a good-looking pitch in that lower corner. 0-1 on the way. Inside for ball 1. 1-1 now for Grace Rolfe. And here's the pitch from Rysdam. Got a piece of it. Slow roller. Alex Rysdam makes the grab and throws on to first in time for out number 2. Here we go. One more. Amelia Rober to the plate. The lefty. Rysdam and company just need one more. And their toughest test in the playoffs so far. And they just need one more out. Rysdam in there for strike 1. That one may have been a little bit of a gift. That one was on the outside part of the plate for strike 1. 0-1, Rysdam with the pitch. That's ball 1. Rysdam sets up for the 1-1 to Amelia Rober. That one swung on out towards left. It's going to get down, base hit. So the Warriors stay alive, and Juliet Rober to the plate. Now this is where, if you're the Bombers, you want to get the final out, because if not, you tip it back to the top of the order, and we know the top 4 of this Warriors batting order is strong, so you do not want to see Eleanor Rolfe at the plate. This is where the Bombers need to get the out. So 2 down and a runner at first. That one swung on. It's hit softly. And the right fielder grabs it for out number 3, and your Bombers are headed to the section championship game. Corey Olson in right field makes the play. 1 hit, no runs for the Bombers, or for the Warriors, no errors for the Bombers. And they move forward to the section championship game. Now, don't be surprised if we see this West Lutheran team again in the section championship back to play the Bombers, but we'll have to wait for that and see as the Bombers get the victory here in this one, 2-1 over the West Lutheran Warriors. West Lutheran is headed to the elimination bracket, and they will play at home. Meanwhile, the Bombers are going to play in the section championship next Thursday, and they will await the winner of the elimination bracket. That game will be at the University of Northwestern next Thursday at noon. We'll be there for that one. Braham only has to win 1 to punch their ticket to the state tournament. If they lose, they get another chance right after that. Coach Swanson getting her team hyped. They are excited. Back to the championship game for a second year in a row for the Bombers. This time they are there and only have to win 1 game. Well, it came down to the final few at-bats, but the Bombers finished the job and are now headed to the Section 4A championship game. We're going to take a commercial break. We'll be back after word from our fine sponsors here on both KBK and WCMP.
Loading the kids in the car, brokering peace in the back seat, mastering the snack handoff without even looking. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. We work with independent agents who keep insurance simple, so you can worry about more important things, like figuring out what's growing in that cup holder. That's simple human sense.
Contact your local auto owner's agency, Pine Insurance Agency, at pineagency.us today.
Hey, this is Adam Hefty. Join me on the new Front Porch Morning Show, Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m. We'll talk news, sports, and weather, and whatever makes it to the front porch.
Nice 95.5.
The mushroom melt is back at A&W. How does this sound? Sautéed seasoned mushrooms and onions with melted Swiss cheese on your choice of a juicy burger or grilled chicken. Then add golden french fries and a medium soft drink. It's the mushroom melt and fries combo at A&W. Now, top it off with a classic A&W root beer float featuring vanilla soft serve and made fresh root beer, all in a frosty mug. Or how about the A&W root beer freeze? Signature combos and delicious treats always at your local A&W restaurant in Pine City.
Back here on KBK and WCMP, the Bombers get the victory over the West Lutheran Warriors 2-1 on that Embrace Orthodontic scoreboard. They will now play in the Section 4A championship game next Thursday at the University of Northwestern at noon, and you bet we will be out there to cover that one. The starting pitcher, Alex Rysdam, 7 innings, 4 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, and 1 strikeout. It's not the best outing for her. She did rely on the defense here more in this one, but I think, looking at it, she's played a lot. She's pitched a lot here these last 2 weeks, so I think fatigue might have been a factor here in this one for really the entire team. But I think, for Braham, I think for Alex Rysdam, fatigue may be a little bit of a factor here in this one, but she fought through it, as did the rest of the team, and they get the win and head to the championship game over West Lutheran 2-1. They got 2 runs here, and that was all that they needed. The 1 run tied it back in the first with a sac fly from Corey Olson to send Morgan Rysdam home. And then Morgan Rysdam hit a solo shot in the third. That was the game-winning home run, actually. So that was hit back in the third. And then it was all defense from there as these two teams battled it out defensively. It was a good defensive battle. I wouldn't say so much pitcher's duel, but because the defenses for both these teams played a really good game. So I think it was more a defensive battle than it was a pitcher's duel. But for the Bombers, they're headed to the Section 4A championship game. Be sure to stay tuned because we will be out there for that one. You can count on it. You can bet on it, whatever you want to do. If you're listening to this on our YouTube, be sure to hit that red subscribe button, like it as well, and that way you will be notified every single time that we go live with a local sporting event. And all you have to do is click that notification, and it'll bring you right to the live video. Otherwise, stay tuned to local sports is on the morning shows on Nice 95.5 with Adam Hefty at 7:30 and 8:30, or on 100.9 FM with Josh Muron at 7:45 and 8:45. We'll talk this game, all the other games going on in our local listening area, plus regional and national sports. You can also check our websites, both kbk.com, wcmpradio.com. Go to the sports tab, click on broadcast schedule. That will show you all the links for the games that we'll be covering that week. That is That is subject to change, though, so be sure to check that daily. And we'll also, on our websites, have articles from games that we've been at, interviews with coaches and players, and much more. Plus, stay tuned to our social media pages, our Facebook for both stations, our Instagram for both stations, plus our Twitter at WCMP Radio. So be sure to like, follow, subscribe, and do whatever you got to do to stay up to date with local sports, as we'll have, as I mentioned, interviews, articles. We'll show you games that will be at that day, all that and much more on our social media. So stay tuned to those. Like, follow, subscribe, and do whatever you have to do to stay up to date with local sports. The Bombers get the victory here in the section semifinal over the West Lutheran Warriors 2-1. Morgan Rysdam, easily the player of the game. She was 3 for 3, 2 doubles and a home run, and scored twice. And she was that game-winning home run back in the third. Stay tuned. We'll be out next Thursday at the championship game down at Northwestern University, where Braham will await the winner of the elimination bracket. So stay tuned, as we will let you know who they'll play, but we will be out there for that one. Stay tuned, because we'll have more softball coming your way Tuesday. I believe Rush City plays on Tuesday in their section semifinal, so we'll be out there for that one as well. I want to thank all of you for tuning in. Thanks so much for tuning in. If you don't tune in, well, simply put, I don't have a job to do. They see that no one's looking or listening, and they tell me, well, don't need to come out anymore. So I appreciate all our loyal listeners for tuning in here. I want to thank all of our fine sponsors who sponsor this and every other broadcast that we do, whether it be spring, summer, fall, winter, sports, doesn't matter. They do a great job of continuing to sponsor us, and we just want to give them a huge shout out and a huge thank you for continuing to sponsor us, because again, if it's not for them, then we don't get to come out here and broadcast these games. I want to thank the AD Sean Kunke for allowing me to be out here, and the region secretaries as well for doing that for me as well, allowing me to be here, and the coach Swanson for always providing me with lineups and information, so I appreciate her as well, and the Bombers. And again, I want to remind you to be kind to everyone. You never know what someone's going through, and your kindness could truly make their day. It's Mental Health Awareness Month of May, so we should take time to be even more considerate, but just be considerate and better humans in general, because, again, you never know what someone's going through, and, again, it costs nothing to be free, so we should all be kinder human beings, because, man, there's so much going on, and there's so much people are hiding nowadays to try and be the strong one, but sometimes they just need help as well. Again, the final on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard, the Bombers beat the West Lutheran Warriors 2-1 and advance to the Section 4A championship game next Thursday at Northwestern. For WCMP Nice 95.5 and Anthem Country WCMP, I'm Ethan Game Day Gilman. Thanks so much for tuning in. Have a great rest of your night, and have a blessed Memorial Weekend.